Well, hello and welcome to Dimos Intuitive Arts Reflections for Real Life. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you've been with us before, welcome back. We're always so happy to have anybody and everybody join us. This channel is a space where we use art and creativity and everyday experience in a way for deeper reflection and not really to find perfect answers, but to just see our lives a little bit more clearly. So we do that through using a few different approaches. And one which we're so enjoying lately is using artwork to inspire us. Today, I'm going to be using the artwork of a woman named Eva Hesse. And we're going to be looking at a piece called Hang Up from 1966. So before I start, I want to tell you a little bit about Eva Hesse. She was one of the most influential and emotionally complex artists in the 1960s. She didn't really have a very, very long career as an artist. It only spanned about a decade, barely actually. And she's best known because of her radically different and changing sculptures. She used unconventional materials at a time where people really weren't doing that. She uses things like latex and rope and fiberglass and rubber and all sorts of different industrial plastics. What makes her so compelling is that her work feels very, very human because it's not polished and it's not perfect and it's not rigid. All the qualities of being a human being. She was born in Hamburg, Germany in 1936, and she was born into a Jewish family that was fleeing Nazi persecution. When she was a small child, she and her sister were sent away on one of those Kinder transport rescue trains. And then she fortunately was eventually reunited with her family in New York. Her whole early life was marked by being displaced. Can you imagine what that was like? There was a lot of instability. Her parents got a divorce, there was trauma, and there was even a suicide later in life of her mother. So, anyway, despite that, or maybe because of that, she really developed a very strong and extraordinary artistic voice. I'd like to show you the piece that we're going to be using today, and it's called Hang Up. And the reflection that I'm going to be offering out for you to play around with while you're looking at this piece is there something that you're still attached to that may no longer be serving you? So I'm going to fix this because it's a little bit wonky, and I want you to see it a little bit less wonky. Um, this piece hangs on a museum wall, and it's fairly significant in size. And I'd like you to imagine, if you've never seen her work in person, what it might be like to enter a space and what your immediate knee jerk reaction might be. I'm going to take a guess here that you probably would think about, like, well, what the heck am I looking at, right? Like, why and what makes this art? It is a very strange piece. It's a frame on a wall. There's a cord, as you can see here, and a line that leaves the structure that the cord makes, and it extends out into space. This piece in person, and the photograph may not do it justice, has two things that I experienced while I was looking at it. I felt sort of like this is restrained because it's something that I'm used to seeing in a way on a wall in a setting like a museum. And then there's this unruly quality to it with this meandering cord. Um, it seems organized because of the frame, but there's also something that extends out from it. And I think that's what I really liken to the human experience for our reflection. There are things in our life which are very controlled, and then there are things that meander off into a very, very uncontrolled place and space. So the question I like you to think about isn't whether or not you think this piece of artwork is good or bad or acceptable. What I'd like you to think about is more deeply important. If this were symbolic of us, ourselves as human beings, which Eva Hesse really wanted us to feel, Are there certain things that you're still attached to that you might feel no longer serve you? And how would you detach from them? Similarly to this piece, if that cord no longer served a purpose, because what purpose is it serving? It's not a TV, it's not plugged into a wall, it's just meandering out from that frame. Why is it still there? And likewise, if it's something that you're carrying, how long have you been carrying it? And what would it mean for you to finally notice it enough to detach it? Sometimes all it takes is just a first step of someone suggesting that to you, which is precisely what our reflection is about today. I want you to really think deep and hard about certain aspects of your life and things that you might feel are ready to be detached, taken off completely, severed, no more. That's our reflection for today. And if there's something about this that you'd like to share, please feel free to comment below in our YouTube channel comment section. And also, as always, know that we would be humbled if you went to our Demos Intuitive Arts site and see what workshops and offerings we have that might appeal to you. We'd love to have you join us. Sending you a big hug and hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. And keep thinking and keep reflecting. That's how we grow. Don't be afraid. Just keep going at it. Have a great day.